thank everybody personally for coming out saying to our friend Deputy Chief Martinez how we appreciate it.
All right.
So we found out today that on March the 1st, am I saying that right? Our sergeant will be, we celebrate 25 years with him. He's going to have a dinner, right? A luncheon right here for our sergeant over here.
Oh, nice. Right. Nice.
You know, somebody asked me, what did I do Christmas and New Year's? I say, talk with Atkins every day. We talk about how we're going to rebuild, restructure, and how we're going to do basic things. So I want to thank everybody for coming. And let's go ahead and get started. We got the mic over there. I got the mic. So we're going to start with you, Councilman Atkins, and then we're going to have Chrissy say some words and anybody else. Make sure you sign in, please, and then we'll go from there. CW came yesterday, so he's been here 24 hours. He called me, he said, I'm here. I said, where? He said, I'm here for Deputy Chief Martinez. I said, you're a day early. He said, okay.
I'm back though.
I'm back.
And he's back. He stayed all night, but he's back.
Yeah.
Okay, first, thank you, Mr. Cummins, for bringing everybody together. That's number one. Number two, Chief Martinez, we're going to miss you. I can say two things about Chief Martinez. You know,
Yes.
when you call him,
Yes.
he do show up, right?
I hope so.
All the time. I mean, he always show up, and to be Southwest and South Central, the things that he do, and the things that other citizen community who know Chief Martinez, I mean, they respect him, and many times that they say, hey, I need to call the chief, you know, and we said, Chief who? They said, Chief Martinez, you know, and everybody recognizes him as a chief over here at South Central Southwest, especially in my district, you know, and we're going to miss him. I know that he's going to go somewhere better, and I tell everybody that when you get opportunity, take advantage of it. I mean, I had people work for me for many years, and they get a chance to get a promotion, to get hired from someone else, and maybe you're doing a great job. And they want you to do a better job there. We're not going to miss you because you'll be right down the street, over there where the diocese. And I talked to Father Tim, and we already got you on our schedule to stay in the district and be part of the city.
Yes, sir.
We're going to definitely do that. But with that, what we done this morning, you know, I met with Southeast, Southwest, and South Central. For the first time, we're going to build a coalition. We're going to start working together as one unit, and with the community and the business working together, come together once a month or once a quarter to see what's going on. What is going on Southeast, what's going on Southwest. Now we know that Charleston was a bad, right there, Campbell and Charleston was kind of a bad deal. We got that kind of closed down. We got Southwest closed down. Now we're trying to get everything together, but what we found out, that sometimes people in one part of the city of Dallas, maybe Southwest, South Central, can learn from Southeast. And we're not giving that information. We're not communicating. We're not putting that intel. And one thing that I want to make sure that we do now, I got a whole lot of apartments in my district, but I just want one intel. When you walk into that apartment in the gated community, I want to know who is on the other side doing security. Yeah. Who is there? Because we need to know the intel of what's going on into those apartments. Because there are danger there. And I know when you do cross that gate in the gated community, you want to know who's on the other side, who on your side, who not on your side. But we got to make sure that the business community also, we got some bad business people. The trespass people should not be sitting around long, like on Bonneville Central School. The person who got shot, he shouldn't have been there in the first place, but he was there. But then too, the owner should not have that person lording around the business. So those are some things, the simple things that we can take care of ourselves. But what we're not doing is, we're not sharing information. We are worried about what we can do. We should do what can we do right now. You know, the plan, yes, you have all the kind of plans you want, but what can we do right now to make sure the city down is safe? And I think it's going to be safer with your leadership, with you laying down the foundation here. I think we have a better force because of your leadership. Yeah. And when you go forward, I know you're still going to be part of the city of Dallas. Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Councilman. Casey just came in.
Okay,
Council.
okay, Council.
Your councilman just came in.
Yes, my council.
You're
Sure. How's everybody doing?
All right.
Good. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you for all of your service, and your commitment to serve and protect residents of the city of Dallas. We really appreciate that. Your commitment, you can go anywhere. You got the best, you've been trained better than any other city, I would say, in the country. And so, but you choose to be here. And our job is to make sure that you have the resources that you need to effectively do your job. And so I want to say thank you, because I don't think you hear that enough. And this guy here, I call him my buddy, he knows. You know, I was at home, and my assistant Chris sent me a text message of a screenshot of this guy in something other than that uniform. And I said, no, it can't be true. So I turned on the news, and sure enough, same day, I said, oh man, I can't believe it. But I know how much, because we've been in meetings with one of the fathers over one of the locations with the Catholic Church in my district. Yes, and I know how important the church is to Chief. And I know even before I saw that on the news, I knew it was only something of that nature that could take him away. And so, you know, it's a sad day for me, because I can text him, I can call him, anything that goes on, I always know he's going to respond and he's going to address it. And I think that should be the expectation of any leader in any position, especially within the police department. So, Chief, I always call you Chief, but now I guess I'll call you Mr. Martinez, because you won't be in that capacity anymore. I want to say thank you to you.
Thank you.
You've been a friend. Since I got on the council, you often take me on a ride along. I'd only seen it on TV. And so he offered me an opportunity to go, and at the time was it Major Castro?
Yes, at the time it was me.
And so it was me, him, and Major Castro, and it was my first time, and so I'm just sitting there, I said, man, I don't know if it's going to be a shooting, I don't know what's going to happen. But I trusted, and these guys, they were going to keep me safe. And so it was a great experience. We got a chance to drive through one of the apartments that had been a long time concern, and talk to the kids, and she pointed out something I hadn't really thought about. The fact that in this particular apartment, they didn't have basketball go, so the kids were just out playing. So it was nowhere for them to play, and I hadn't thought about it. Said that's one of the reasons why some of the kids get into things they get into, because it's not something for them to do. And so that experience was valuable for me, and from that point on, I knew anytime I needed anything, I could call on this guy. And so I'll miss you. I'm always going to be a phone call or a text away. However, I can be supportive to you. You already know it. We had probably about a 2-hour conversation over in my district office. And some of the things you shared with me then, and you shared in confidence, and I appreciate it, were very valuable, because we're seeing some of the things implemented today.
Yes.
There were recommendations, suggestions, and thoughts and ideas to make this department function in a much better way. And I know one day the city of Dallas is going to call, and you're going to have a big decision to make.
Thank you.
To either stay in what's become your dream job, or even greater, which is the opportunity to be chief of this police department. And I truly believe one day that call is going to come. So I just want to say thank you for your leadership, thank you for your friendship, and I wouldn't have missed being here for nothing in the world.
Thank you.
So thank you.
For that.
Unfortunately, he is so sad he's missing this today, but he is out of town at a conference in Las Vegas, of all places, so for him.
Should have went with it.
But I just wanted to say thank you so much, Chief, from the bottom of our hearts. I know you and I just had the opportunity to meet, but your reputation precedes you. And two things I know a fact about you: you are loved and you are respected. And I just want to say on behalf of District 10 and Councilmember Magoo, and I know the entire Public Safety Committee, as well as the council members already said, we appreciate your service so much, more than you can know, and you will be greatly missed. And Miss P, thank you for having us. The legendary Miss P. Appreciate you so much for throwing this, and to all the officers who are continuing to serve. We greatly appreciate you.
I'd like to say something real quick. Just real quick. Those who don't know me, I'm Sergeant Childs, Joseph Childs. I think I probably have the one thing that I can say that probably none of you all can say, and that is that I've known Albert more than any of you all. Because
They call Albert, that's why.
Class 237 started back in August of 1993. We were both sitting in the same class. And so we had a great time, learned a lot from each other. But one thing that I think we could always say, even way back then, 20-some-odd, almost 27 years ago, is that we knew Albert was going to be something special. We worked hard. We challenged each other through the academy. He was ranked #1, I was ranked #2. So, you know, we had a bond, you know, as far as how we conducted ourselves. So, but the point is that it's all about, it's your day, and you know, your legacy. We are more than grateful and thankful to have had you here, and it's been a pleasure for me to see you ascend up the ranks and take on the leadership positions that you have. I know you're going to do great going forward. Just wish, you know, prayers to you and your family. I know you guys will get everything worked out the way you want it. You know, God's going to always be in front.
Amen.
So, with that being said, on behalf of South Central, we salute you and congratulations.
Thanks.
I run this side of the rock, and when I started almost 25 years ago, I worked with Chief Martinez when he was still a police officer. So he has had a lot of influence on how I do work, and you know, just watching how he takes control of a situation and is not afraid to tell officers, hey, you know what, you took this job, it was a passion, and that you need to have the same care as you do with your family, with citizens, but at the same time, you know, you still got to, you know, enforce the law. So there has to be a balance between both. And, you know, as long as you try to treat your troops right and everything, you know, they'll work for you, they'll follow you. And like I told him already once, it goes, you know, if we had fired our way into hell to save somebody and fired our way back out, I would do it. And, you know, I just like to thank him, you know, for just being there and, you know, helping me with a little bit of guidance to try to make me better.
Working with Chief Martinez for the last 3 years or so, and under his leadership, he has developed a lot of individuals. And the one thing I can say is that, you know, he really looks at us as individuals. He treats us and respects us very much. And he's always laid the groundwork for us. He's a very busy man, but the time that he had with us was very special. So he always took time to develop his troops, and I really appreciate that. So under his leadership, Southwest had the NPO Unit of the Year. Under his leadership, Southwest had the Rookie of the Year. And then under his leadership, Southwest had the PSO Officer of the Year also. So that's just a direct reflection of Chief Martinez's leadership. So we appreciate it, and he's going to be greatly missed. Thank you.
All right. With Chief Martinez, first of all, it's hard to be a leader of police officers because we all, in some sort of way, are alphas. So for you to be a leader, and for all these officers, the first thing for them to come up and say is leader, that means you're a leader of leaders. I mean,
Other things. You have to be willing to stand there, whether it's cold or hot or whatever may be going on. And you've demonstrated that as well, Mr. Hamilton. To Carrie and everyone that volunteers, everyone that's surrounding Ms. Pemberton, thank y'all for all you've done. Because you too have volunteered in so many ways. And the sad thing is, there's very few ways to recognize what you have done. But again, the city is indebted to all of you. And to our council persons, thank you for stepping into that role yourselves. pit of vipers at times. Everybody wants something from you, but everybody needs everything from you. And I've seen you all do things and have to stay late and figure things out that people will not see when you're behind closed doors. And then really finally to my officers, the hardest part of leaving this department is, and I look forward to that opportunity. But I will go wherever the Lord leads me.